entertainmentbuddha.com.
Dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. Da, 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 wah, 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 da, 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 wah, 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 da, 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 wah, 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 wah. Everyone, it is Matt and Nick, and we are proud, not only proud, but we are happy to be talking to you on this new episode of Star Wars Time. And why are we so happy? Why are we so proud? Well, my friends, it's because we've seen Solo, and for the first time since The Force Awakens, Nick and I agree 100% on how good of a movie this was in the Star Wars movie universe. So we're going to dedicate this cast to talking all things Solo, but not all things. There's enough in that movie to warrant an additional cast, maybe 2 additional casts. So today we're just going to kind of vomit out our overall reaction to our first screening of the film and go through and highlight some of the top moments, and then also highlight some of the moments that we maybe felt weren't quite as good as the rest of the film. But the long and short of it is we both enjoyed it. Nick gave it an 8.4, which I think he hit the nail on the head in terms of if you need a score. I think it's between an 8 and a 9 type of movie for myself. The write-up was great. I think Nick really highlighted why this movie is good and why you should go see it, and why, if you're one of these angry Disney fans, why you should just kind of let that hate go for 2.5 hours and just go see for yourself. You know, I'm never going to understand your frustration and hate of Disney Star Wars produced movies after The Last Jedi. I mean, hey, that ship has sailed. Have at it. If you want to be angry and if you want to boycott Star Wars because you think it's actually going to change Disney from making more movies, go ahead and be cute like that. Because guess what? Your plans may succeed with Solo because Nick just looked up some numbers and it doesn't look like it's tracking so hot, which is a shame. I'm not saying it's unexpected. I mean, you got to remember that this film went through some turbulence, and I think that turbulence affected some people's opinions without going to see the movie, which I don't really understand. But again, hey, people can't be as awesome as Nick and I, so we forgive you for that. We forgive you. But I'm telling you, if you're one of these people that are just angry for no real reason over a fucking fictional franchise set in space in a galaxy far, far away, you need to just chill out for 2.5 hours, go see Solo for yourself, keep an open mind, and then report back to us and let us know if Disney is still raping your childhood. Okay?
Yeah, you're really doing yourself a disservice. I mean, we've talked about it before. This is the best time to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, we have video games, we have movies again, we have mobile games, we have, thousands of different, comic books, novels, everything out there. Star Wars is alive again, and there are people out there that are just shitting on it for no reason or for stupid reasons. I mean, like Matt said, this movie, me and him were both skeptical before.
Yeah, I'm not saying if you guys have been listening to this podcast, and if you have been, what's your problem? But also, we thank you. There was a time we'd go back and forth, be like, man, this thing's gonna be a pile of shit. I mean, after one of the first trailers or second trailers, I was like, Alden Ehrenreich just looks awful in this film, and come to find out, he may be the best damn part after seeing it all put together in its final state. So that speaks volumes to what we do as humans, and Nick and I do the same shit. I mean, that's what we do on this podcast. We get little peeks of things, and then we try to draw our own conclusions, and sometimes our conclusions are very far off from reality, and that's just because we don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. So when in terms of Solo, we were both lukewarm, if not cold, on it at times. The delays in trailers and promotional footage worried us, and the first few looks at it kind of had us tepid about maybe we should lower expectations even more. But I'm also not saying that this is a movie that turned out being so great for me because I had low expectations. I actually started to warm to it greatly after we got some clips and we were actually seeing scenes play out. I started to warm to it, but in the end, it's just a damn good Star Wars movie that is even more different than Rogue One. I mean, I think Solo really stands on its own now as a very unique type of Star Wars film.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like this movie, while it does feel and have the marquee features of a Star Wars film, feels different than Skywalker Saga films or Rogue One. Like you said, there's not. It's way more fun. There's more fun.
The
in
main
this,
difference is
levity.
it's not just good guys versus the Empire.
Yeah, you're working within this kind of fluid space of morality.
Good guys within bad guys, essentially.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of the characters, I mean, if you were to just look at this film and look at the actors in it without seeing a title, people would go see this. I mean, you have Emilia Clarke, Donald Glover, Paul Bettany, Woody Harrelson.
Man, was he good or what? Dude, Bettany, Jesus.
Dude,
I'm so glad he came in because there was supposed to be another actor for that role.
Dude, he nailed it.
Jesus. Okay, but yeah, by the way, it's big time spoiler warnings from here on out. We're going to go deep into the film as we talk about our top moments and our least favorite moments. Not that I don't really even want to say it like that, but there was a scene here or there. It's like, could have been a little better, or I don't know about that. But anyways, major spoiler warnings. I mean, if you have not seen this movie, you do not want to listen until you have.
Yeah, if you want to,
or if you don't care, then have at it, because we're about to go ham.
Yeah, if you want to read a spoiler-free review, mine's up on entertainmentbuddha.com. Go check it out. I do as good of a job as I can to leave out all spoilers for the movie.
It's fantastic. So. It was a great review. Trust me, people. Check it out. I'm not saying he's selling it, but he does a good job at selling it. I hate that we have to almost convince people to go see a Star Wars movie. It seems odd, but it's a good write-up without spoiling anything, and it explains why the movie is much better than most of the Star Wars fandom thought it would be.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let's kick it off. So,
all right, let's just go through the movie chronologically, just kind of highlighting our top moments. I guess, first off, Nick, what I appreciated is we got its own sort of crawl, right? I really like that.
Yeah, that was very interesting to me because you're so used to seeing a long time ago in a galaxy star, far away, the blast, and then you're in. But, this is the first movie where they extended that sequence, that, far away, ... and then continuation about the crime syndicates, about, how the galaxy has changed under Imperial reign, and how these smuggling cartels are kind of coming up in the world. So I thought that was really cool.
I wouldn't say it was as long as a crawl, but it served the same purpose, right? It kind of sets the stage for the world we're about to join, and it kind of lays out what you're about to see, and it really helped. Like, it gave name to that big worm thing. That's Lady Proxima.
Yeah.
It explained about how it's a lawless time now that the Empire is just going around and busting heads and trying to get people to fall in with them, which has allowed these crime organizations, crime syndicates, to just kind of wreak havoc on systems because they're unchecked. I mean, they are above the law. I mean, the Empire can't even screw with these crime syndicates, which we learn later in the movie that the one that is explored in particular is Crimson Dawn, which I believe does come from the extended universe in some form or fashion, correct?
Yeah, I think there's mention of them in novels, and I
know I've heard the name before. Yeah. I think this is the first time they've shoved it into this new canon and made it canon again. But I believe it comes from the EU in some form or fashion, maybe comics, but I don't know. But
yeah,
Crimson Dawn wasn't created just for this movie, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, another excellent example of Disney not being afraid to draw from EU sources for on-screen material, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, I mean, jumping right in, I mean, we get our first look, as we kind of talked about on previous casts, first look at Han younger.
What age were you putting him right there?
So I mean, I was saying like late teens, something like that.
I'm going with 17 or 18.
Yeah, that's kind of around what I was thinking too. I was thinking like 18, 19, something like that. I mean,
so he's basically farm boy Luke's age in A New Hope when we first meet Han and Solo.
Yeah, and he's doing what he has been known to do. I mean, he was a a carjacker. He was, basically a sewer rat that was hired to do jobs by this lady, Proxima.
The crawl sets it up. Essentially, on Corellia, there's this criminal organization led by Lady Proxima, who's this big-ass worm thing. You've probably seen her in the trailers. But she essentially takes in orphan children, which Han apparently was one, even though we get some dialogue later in the film that he talks about actually having a dad. So who knows what that was all about. But either way, Han ends up with this group, and he essentially has to do jobs for him. And those involve... The crawl also sets up what these crime syndicates are doing, and it's basically for everything's about resources right now, and one of the big resources is hyperfuel. So
coaxium.
The coaxium essentially is what was that called, like the MacGuffin or whatever. It's like the thing that they're trying to steal throughout the movie. It's all about this, because if you get yourself some coaxium, you can get yourself a starship. You can make yourself really wealthy.
If you can get your hands on a lot of coaxium, you can get a lot of credits, or you could build a fleet. You could do anything with it. Like you said, because of the Imperial reign in the galaxy at this time, resources are scarce, and people are doing anything they can to get their hands on what they need in order to get themselves out of these situations, get off planet, which is what Kira and Han are trying to do. So right up front, after Han steals a speeder, we run into Kira again, and we find out that they're pretty much best friends and lovers.
Oh, they're full-on lovers. I mean, you and I were kind of kicking around like, they're probably at least buddies. But no, I mean, their plan, or Han's plan, and Han is a very hopeful dude in this movie, and he seems like a very hopeful guy at the end. So I know you and I were thinking he was going to learn some hard lessons, and maybe he did, but I don't think we're seeing a New Hope Han yet by the time this movie ends.
We're definitely not.
He's still young Han, which is good if they make more movies, which is probably going to be bad because it looks like they're not going to make more movies, and now I want more solo movies. But anyways, so these two were lovers, and their plan was to get off Corellia and just get their ship and do their thing and sail the stars, which... it was kind of very un-Han-like if you only know the Han of old.
Yeah, it was a romantic move that the Han from the original trilogy or even the sequel trilogy would not have made. He was not all about running off planet with Leia and sailing about the galaxy with no worries. He was about his business, him and Chewie, and that's all that mattered. And to see him in such a young and, like you said, optimistic and youthful state was very different, and it was very refreshing because, we're finally getting to see what Han was before he was this battle-hardened scoundrel who has a heart coated in ice. It was excellent to be able to see that, and I think that Alden perfectly captured that. Like, he has, when you look at his face, he's a younger kid, so he has like a bit of a baby face, but he has that youthful kind of glow to him.
He's a go-getter, man. This dude is a go-getter. He's there. He has a plan, and he gets it done.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then, we're moving on from the initial opening salvo of the speeder being stolen, and then Han having this coaxium plan to get off of Corellia with Kira. We get to the separation, and we get to see how that happens.
I'm glad you're going to this scene because this is another good moment. Not just because of the drama and the tension, but I liked this is one of the first times you really get to see what the Empire does to a planet. You get to see how they're regulating and then how they shepherd droids into a separate area and aliens into a separate area. It's very reminiscent of what's going on in our country right now with immigration. You really got to see how oppressive the Empire is once it shows up on your planet and entrenches itself. So I liked it. I'm talking like peripheral stuff. The focus is all on Han and Kira trying to get away. But in the background, you see families being torn apart or troopers just beating the shit out of somebody. It just goes to show you how horrible the Empire was and what it would do to a system.
Yeah, exactly. We also get to even see maybe a bit of humanity within that, because the way that they're trying to get off this system is basically through bribery. They have this little vial of coaxium that's worth about 800 to 900 credits. Not a lot by a standard that we've become familiar with, but a lot to them. And it can get them off planet, get them a ship, and get them out of there. But they have to get through a checkpoint with a passport of sorts in order to make it. And, the woman, the Imperial woman that's working this checkpoint's not going to give them a break, so they go for the bribe, and it seems to work. But right at the moment of truth, when they're walking through this, this gate, Kira gets snatched by Lady Proxima's gang. They broke out. They were trying to get away, but they got caught right at the end. And now Kira and Han are separated. Han makes it through the gate. Kira gets pulled back, and an alarm goes off to signify that there is an outsider, an unauthorized person in Han who made it through the gate. So this is where we finally get.
And I honestly thought Alden played that scene. That may have been his best dramatic scene of the movie. Like, he really sold that them getting torn apart sucked for Han. But as Nick said, he had to quickly kind of use his wits, which we've learned that Han he's a tricky motherfucker. He's resourceful. And we got to see how he enlists in the Imperial Academy, which to me was a top moment. I like that, not only because we got to see Han and how he entered the Empire, but we also learn how he gets his real name, because his last name is not Solo. Like, that's not his birth name. We now learn that he was given that name by the Empire, essentially, because when he goes to register, the guy signing him up's like, "What's your name?" He says Han. And he's like, "No, what's your full name, proper name?" And he's like, "I don't have one." And the guy naturally is like, "Okay, well, by yourself, Solo, Han Solo. Yeah. Welcome to the Imperial." So that was cool.
Yeah, the way that he goes about it too, because there was a lot of different ideas about why he would join the Imperial Army, how he would get into the Imperial Navy, stuff like that.
He had to.
The fact that it was literally like, I'm stuck in here. The only way for me to get out is to join the Imperial Navy.
Right. He's like, I'm either getting captured and taken back to the Worm Lady, or I'm just joining the Empire where I might actually be able to get to fly, which is really all I want to do.
Yeah, he wants to be a pilot, which is the first thing he says to the recruiter. He's like, what do I have to do to be a pilot? And the recruiter tells him, it's like, well, most kids your age join the infantry, but, you can join the Imperial Navy. And then boom.
Yeah, he's like, we'll have you flying in no time. And then you get the time jump of 3 years, and here's Han still on the ground getting his ass kicked. We're kind of recapping the movie, which I don't want to do. But speaking of Minbom, I loved how we got to see Han's rebellious side, and also you do get hints that this guy deep down, even though he'll do anything to make a buck or make a name for himself, he does have a good heart, which Kira calls him out on later on in the movie. But he's sitting there like, why the hell should I be running that way where people are getting blasted?
Yeah,
when we are the reason they're shooting at us. He's like, we're invaders. That's the reason they're fucking. Han's basically like, yeah, we suck.
Yeah,
he's like,
we invaded the planet.
I'm not going to go shoot these people. We suck. And that eventually gets him kind of not court-martialed yet, but I loved how that funneled to him meeting Beckett and Beckett's gang. I thought that introduction was cool. I liked that Han was in the army or in the Empire fighting, but then at the same time, we had Beckett, Val, and Rito. They're starting to prep for a major job that they're doing for Dryden.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You also get to see Han's kind of, his brains, his smarts come out a little bit in that scene because, obviously everybody's dressed in their Imperial Minbon trooper garb and stuff like that. So he doesn't know all the people around him. He sees somebody jump into a trench that's dressed in a captain's outfit, and, two guys with him that are both in Imperial uniforms. But he notices, like, this dude's got fucking holes all over his shit. So either he just took a bunch of bullets and fine, or he is, he stole that outfit. So he uses his brain to put himself in a situation to get off the planet. Again, fantastic. And it definitely, that interaction definitely doesn't go the way that I expected.
Oh, no. Beckett's an asshole. We'll really get into that, but Beckett is as scoundrel as it gets. And A, did you like the reference to Bosk we got from their gang?
Yeah.
And B, did you like how they threw in there that Beckett was the person that killed Aura Singh? I love those little lore nuggets, and that's why these standalones have so much more potential than I thought. Just those little passing references are awesome.
Yeah, the thing about Bosk was very cool. The mention is like, we could get Bosk or something like that. I mean, it was an off mention, but it was still cool to see one of those, those infamous bounty hunter characters brought in, at least in a mention. But to hear that he was the one who killed Aura Singh was fantastic. Another bounty hunter, though,
Beckett,
from the
even though
Clone Wars era.
He's new to Star Wars Nation, he's now a very key player. I mean, he was a big-time player in the Star Wars underworld.
Oh, absolutely.
He's up there with the likes of Boba Fett, you name it. I mean, he traveled in those circles and people knew of him.
Yeah, those little things were great little drops here and there. I mean, it was fantastic.
So, yeah, it's actually Beckett's fault that Han and Chewie run into each other. So let's kind of advance there, because that's clearly, I think, to me, my favorite moment of the movie, at least even the funniest moment of the movie, is when Han first meets Chewie. And Nick and I were talking offline. The way they did it was new, while also mixing in some of the old Legends tales. So I think we both were huge fans of it. Essentially, the way it goes down, Beckett betrays Han once again, and gets him thrown into the clink, the Empire clink, which happens to be where Chewie's already at. So for one reason or another, the Empire had already captured Chewie. I mean, we know that the Empire is using Wookiees for slaves. Kashyyyk was essentially raised, and all the Wookiees were taken away and spread throughout the galaxy to work for the Empire and its various resource planets. But for whatever reason, Chewie's on Minbom. He's chained up, and he's called the Beast, right?
Yep.
You know what they call him? Like, yo, let's give him to the Beast.
Give him to the Beast. Yeah.
So it was a play on, when I first saw it, I was like, this is paying homage to the Rancor scene from Jedi.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact,
same
when they
thing where they
there.
even the groans are taking place, and I knew instantly it was going to be Chewie. I mean, anyone with a brain that's watched Star Wars, you know Chewie's in there. But they even make kind of the growl sound like, oh shit, what could be down here? And then it's revealed the Empire's using Chewie to essentially beat up and kill prisoners.
Yeah, it's a different type of enslavement than we had expected, but
I mean,
it was
he's
still
for entertainment.
Think
of him, he's like a gladiator. That's what Chewie is for the Empire.
Yeah, disobedient soldiers or, subordinate soldiers, anything like that, get thrown down into this mud pit with Chewie, and Chewie just destroys them. I mean, we see, discarded armor. We see, dead people. I mean, even the troopers that throw Han down into the pit say, it's like, oh, this should be fun. We haven't fed him in 3 days. Like,
oh yeah, he's expecting them to eat these people. They're putting bets on it, like how long will the people last with Chewie. So it goes to show how formidable of a powerhouse Chewie really is, and we get to see a lot of that in this movie. And you could argue that Chewie's the star of this film. I mean, Chewie's fantastic. I love the guy. Yeah. But anyway, so we get to see their first meeting, which we knew was coming. And it was, to Nick and I, it was one of those moments you couldn't fuck up. And they didn't fuck it up. And actually, I think they made it better than what it could have been. And the reason I'm saying is because they made it not really a serious type of situation, right? Like, we were thinking it was going to be serious, like Chewie's family's getting shot up, or Han's breaking out Chewie's entire family and babies, or he saves his life. And no, it was literally these two are fighting each other when they first meet, and Chewie's doing it because that's his lot in life. Han's doing it just to fucking stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. We assumed that this was going to be like an altruistic move on Han's part,
right?
But it was completely not. Like I said in my review, he's definitely trying to save his life more than he's trying to save Chewie's in this situation. And this movie is all about levity in a way. It's all about, differentiating itself from Rogue One and all of the other Skywalker Saga films, because that's not what, Han Solo is about. Han Solo is definitely more... it has more of a comedic feel to it. Not really comedic, but more of a levitated kind of happy feel to it.
That's like we said. It is a unique Star Wars film at this point in time, because it's not doom and gloom. It's not the fucking Empire and Darth Vader and they're so oppressive and Jeddah and They're ruining the Jedi temples, and Jedi. None of that was there. I mean, yes, the Empire is an omnipresence in Solo, but that's about it. I mean, outside of a little blockade they throw up at Kessel because of something Leet does, they're kind of irrelevant in this movie. I mean, it's not like Han and the team that gets built are worried about, well, we got to watch out for the Empire. They don't fucking care about that. They're more worried about what Crimson Dawn may do to them if they don't get the fucking job done than the Empire.
Yeah, I mean, Beckett's main focus is what's Dryden going to do if we don't finish this, and is Enfys Nest going to fuck up my shipments?
So again, this movie, as Nick has said, it's doesn't have that heavy presence of the Empire weighing down on you the entire time. Like, this big war machine is fucking everything up. And no, I mean, it was more about how can we get paid so we don't get killed.
Yeah, and this scene is, like you said, it's a perfect example of where they could have gone the other way, but they didn't. Like, the fact that, we meet Chewie, he's this big beast, and then we find out through means, once the fight starts, Han starts speaking Kashyyykian or Wookiee to him, and like we had never heard a human anywhere in Star Wars speak. You have
people. If you've seen it, and you're probably laughing. But if you have not seen this yet, I'm telling you, this scene is worth seeing multiple times because it is fantastic. As Nick says, right as Han's about to get snuffed out, Alden somehow pulls off one of the most authentic Wookiee dialects I've ever heard coming out of a human's mouth. I mean, and I've actually seen him do it during the promotional tour, so I know he can do this, and they weren't just dubbing in dialogue or like an audio dub. But he literally goes like, bah, bah, and Chewie's like, what? Like, and then they continue to converse in this broken Wookiee. So it sounds like, I mean, essentially, like, remember when the Indians met the white man? It's like, me, Chief Chirpa, you, white man. It was like that. So Han's like, me, come up with plan to get out. And Chewie's like, whoa. And then they finally figure out what's going on. And essentially, Han's like, just keep beating me up because we can take out this support pillar. And there we go. So I really did enjoy their first interaction. I enjoyed that they were both in it for themselves. Right? I mean, as soon as they get out of the pit, what happens? Han's like, follow me. And Chewie goes, whatever. And he starts running.
He just runs his own way.
Their legs are chained together. So obviously, Chewie's a Wookiee and Han's a human. He gets fucking ripped down to the ground. Long story short, they get off the planet, and this is where their bond forms. And they also take a shower together the first time they have a chance to, which was another great little moment between the two. So I just think, I don't know who wrote it. I mean, obviously there's probably all the Kazdans. I don't know how much Howard played or reworked that stuff. I mean, again, there's a cast in itself. What was Howard's work and what was the two dudes' work? Who knows? Because everything felt so smooth. It didn't feel disjointed at all. You know what I mean? I mean, the
that was what I
on,
noticed.
the acting was on, the framing. Oh, sorry. Framing was off, and I'll get into that. And I think that was a part of the way the two guys would shoot versus the way Ron wanted to shoot. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So, Nick, kind of moving on, now they're together. We find out that, remember we were saying that the Vandor mission was probably some sort of buy-in mission to, like, prove themselves. It necessarily wasn't that. It was kind of a circumstance mission, right? I mean, so they basically, what's going on, Beckett, Val, and Rio go to Minbomb because they need to steal an Imperial transport thing that can basically pick up shit. It's essentially a helicopter in the Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Helicopter, one of those big-ass Chinooks or whatever. They need that for this job, and that's the job we've been seeing in the trailers with the train on the tracks, and they're trying to remove it, yada, yada, yada. Where Nick and I were always thinking, Han must seek out Beckett and beg to join. That wasn't the case at all. Obviously, we find out that Beckett tries to screw Han over multiple times, and it's solely based on the fact that he realizes how resilient and resourceful Han is, and the fact that he picked up a Wookiee along the way. And Rio, which, by the way, I loved Rio. We can talk about him. Yeah. Rio convinces them, like, hey, no, we should really bring this Han guy and this Wookiee with us because we could use him on this Vandor job. And that's where Val comes in, like, these two noobs we could have just called Bosk.
Yeah,
so, exactly.
That was cool. Like, it was fantastic. Like you said, Beckett ditches him twice, and then not only does Han
he wants
come
nothing
back,
to do with him. He wants. I mean, it really. Rio's the one ultimately that pulls Han and Chewie into the scoundrel life. You could make that argument.
I mean, the ship is taking off, and then while they're going up, Val's saying leave. Rio's like, no. Do you realize how strong a Wookiee is? We could use his strength. And then boom, he's in the ship, and then we're on Vandor. And like you said, it was more of a, and like I put in my review too, it was more of a relationship of necessity on Beckett's part than it was a relationship of caring and trying to bring this new kid up in this lifestyle. I mean, it literally was like, hey, we need more than 3 people for this, so we bring these kids in, and then we can ditch them after it's done. That was probably the plan.
And Han's no slouch. I mean, hopefully I'm not making him out to be like just some clumsy lucky guy. I mean, Han is very skilled at what Han does. Early on, we learned. I mean, this dude, I said it 1,000 times now, but he's very resourceful in this seedy world that he wants to operate in. I mean, it's from his youth growing up on the streets, not turning tricks, but pulling off heists and little deals for Lady Proxima. I mean, so Beckett ultimately does realize, like, you know what, this kid's got some talent. So they do the Vandor. I mean, I thought that the whole train sequence was awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
We kind of expected it to be a big action set piece. It was. It was exciting. It was some fucking people die. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, did you not know? I mean, I do feel like there were certain big moments that were telegraphed in this movie, like some of I guess we could call them twists. But when they're flying, Rio is the pilot of the group at this point in time, and right there I'm like, well, Rio's dead.
Yeah,
you gotta get rid of Rio to make room for Han to become the pilot of this, scoundrel outfit. So, unfortunately, we do lose Rio early on. I really enjoyed Rio as a character. I mean, I thought Favreau injected like this great life into him. He's only on screen for maybe 5-10 minutes tops. But I think it was an impactful 5-10 minutes for a character, don't you? I mean, did you like Rio?
Yeah, I loved Rio, and in fact, like you said, the fact that he was the one that brought Han onto this team, essentially. I mean, he was the one who convinced him to do it, and then also, like, every character in this movie has leaves a bit of themselves with Han, and with Rio, it was the levity, it was knowing what he's good at, and then also bringing when Han comes in to try to save him, even to the very end, Rio was like, I got it, just get out of here, kind of having that selfless nature to him.
But then he even says to Han, he's like, dude, you really can pilot. Yeah, like Rio obviously is a great pilot in his own right, which I loved how they made him. Again, Rio's an alien. He has 4 arms. He's a space monkey.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, he moves around. The way that he moved and he jumped around was fantastic.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I loved how they animated, and, like, this is how he can pilot so well. I mean, he's using all these arms in his feet. He's swinging around, hitting knobs. It was crazy. But, like, yeah, Nick said, I mean, all these people Han meets, they shape him. But the train sequence in general, very tense. I mean, yeah, you knew Chewie wasn't going to get smacked by that rock, but, I mean, dude, Rio gets taken out. Val, I mean, Thandie Newton, huge actress, out of nowhere. I mean, she's gone within the first 15 minutes of the movie, but it was a good death because, her and Beckett were an item. I think we were kind of speculating that. They definitely were lovers. I mean, they were no different than Han and Leia. That was a sad moment. I mean, she essentially sacrifices herself so they can hopefully complete the mission. Yeah. Which, by the way, gets even more exciting when Enfys Nest shows up with her. Well,
the Cloud Riders. That's
right. Whatever the hell they are, but they're called Marauders.
Marauders.
That's not the case. But I mean, all that was great. I mean, Enfys is a fucking pimp in that action sequence. I mean, I loved what she did. I mean, I loved how she can do the melee combat. She's kind of like a ninja, like, I mean, she had some skills that Beckett and his crew didn't have when it came to fighting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Beckett is a pimp with blasters, right? I mean, that dude is a Mac Daddy. He reminded me of almost Cad Bane with his two pistols
with
and how
the two
good he
pistols,
was.
And he's just shooting them off. But the weapon that Enfys had was really cool because it had that sonic blast to it, that blast.
Yeah, it's
wave
like a
that
vibro blade.
back.
It's kind of like what those Grievous's guards had, where it's like I'd imagine that blade could contend with a lightsaber couldn't just slash through it. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably. I agree. But yeah, just like Enfys coming on, and then we'll get to it later. But the evolution of the perception of that character throughout this movie, because
there's a lot of way more smoke and mirrors in this movie than I thought. Right? I mean, there was multiple twists. We had, what'd you say, 3 big twists? Yeah,
there was three big turns where you're like, oh shit, I definitely didn't see this coming. Like maybe some hints of it with maybe one of the characters, but then the other two you're like, damn,
the
like
Beckett
these are
twist. That's another one I was saying. It is so telegraphed. I mean, when they walked up, I was like, I know what happened here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just too easy, but it was still good, and I still like that it twists again and then again.
Yeah, I mean,
and they also, did you clearly notice that they did the Han shoots first thing?
Oh yeah. That was pretty cool. I mean, it was very tongue in cheek. I was almost expecting to Beckett to say that, like, I have one more thing to tell you. Always shoot first.
Yeah, dude, that's brilliant. Now that you say that, I guarantee you that's what he was gonna say.
That's what I was thinking. He was gonna say always shoot first, and then he was gonna shoot. And then I thought Han was going to come back with the second shot, but the fact that Han shot first, it dropped him.
As he's talking, he's like, and let me tell you one more thing. Boom! Like, Han does shoot first, motherfuckers. Get used to it.
I mean, it was fucking great. I love that shit. But
hey, we forgot a top moment as we wrap up the Vandor mission. And, I got to give Nick the score on this one because during one of our breakdowns, I was very adamant that I think Han had his blaster and Beckett was just smelling it to make sure it was good. Like that made any sense. But no, we see that Beckett does indeed. He's the one that gives Han the blaster we see that he has throughout all the movies. Yeah. And it was actually, it was basically like a fucking sniper rifle essentially that you could deconstruct into a hand cannon.
Yeah, he had the attachments to it to make it like a long rifle, and then removes these attachments, kind of gives it a kiss, and then tosses it to Han. Like, here you go, kid. This is your weapon now.
Yeah. So I thought that was a cool. Like I've been saying, there's some great little lore nuggets in here. I mean, the Solo name, getting the blaster. We saw the dice, and we learned that the dice had nothing to do with anything we thought they had. That they're just Han's good fucking luck charm. Yeah. I mean, he had him on Corellia. He basically throws him on the dash of anything he's stolen or is piloting.
Yeah.
He gives them. We see he gives them to Kira, and then she eventually gives them back. So they're more a memento of his past than what we thought. They were like the commemorative dice that he used to win Sabacc, which we know doesn't even make sense at this point.
Yeah, Sabacc has no dice.
There are no fucking dice. It's just poker. So.
But yeah, the whole Vandor mission to me really was used as a way to show Han, like, hey, if you get in this life, this is what you're signing up for. Like, we've had 2 people die.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you had, marauders come in, try to steal our shipment. So if this is something you want to do, this is what you have to prepare for. I mean, he didn't know Rio and Val very long, but you could tell that, especially, when he sees Rio dying, and then when Val kind of makes that sacrifice, like, it hits him. And
I think Woody acted that brilliantly when Val is gonna sacrifice herself. I mean, Val, it was just perfect. I mean, that's what any man would feel if he knew that his woman was about to die.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't like cave down and he reacts in anger, like, don't fucking cut the cables. That too. I mean, that explosion, man, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was
playing
again
chicken
that was
with Enfys. I mean, that's just. I mean, like we said, a whole great action sequence. So the next big that's kind of the first act of the movie, right? And then we move into the second act, which is. Didn't it surprise you how much time is spent on Vandor?
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty big chunk of time, and
because I mean, we learn after the heist, which they failed, by the way. We learned what the heist was for, and it was for Dryden Voss, who is the guy. A crime syndicate leader, lord. I mean, he's part of Crimson Dawn. He's not the ultimate leader. We do learn who that is, and it will fucking surprise you. But he's way high up, and he's very powerful, very respected, and very dangerous.
Yeah.
But he just so happens to be flying his big-ass yacht around Vandor, like just hanging out, probably expecting Beckett to come with... what's that shit called again?
Coaxium. Yeah, the hyperspace fuel. But, I mean, it seems like that's kind of what Dryden does. I mean, he's got this vehicle that can essentially go anywhere. So if he knows that a major job is going down on a planet, like, he's going to be there.
He just docks up. I mean, he hangs out because we see him again at the end on Savarine, which is the last planet well, it's technically not. Who knows where the last scene is at between the card game. I haven't figured that out or looked it up. So anyways, yeah, he just flies this big pimp yacht around and has parties, and we learn very quickly that Dryden Voss is not to be fucked with. I mean, he is executing a imperial regional governor.
Yeah.
I mean, so like we said at the beginning, these crime syndicates, they don't give a fuck about the Empire. The Empire's probably more leery of the crime syndicates. I mean, I honestly envision Palpatine giving a direct order like, hey, just leave these assholes alone. Let them fuck shit up. We don't need their mess right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the crime syndicates had been around long before the Empire was.
He was killing a regional governor. You know who else was a regional governor one day? Tarkin.
Yeah.
Like that level of people. I mean, Grand Moff Tarkin, I mean, that level of imperial type of leader was just summarily being executed by this Crimson Dawn boss. So... yeah, you don't fuck with Dryden, you don't fuck with Crimson Dawn. So that was the motivation behind Beckett. Like, hey, we fucked this shit up. We didn't get your payload. How can we make this up? And then that's where things really kick in. And that's where we learn what Kira was doing for the past 3 years. She became a lieutenant within Crimson Dawn. We don't learn a lot about her. And I think we have, we'll talk about more in the next podcast, because I think a lot of Kira's backstory and really what she could be doing in a solo sequel was kind of peeled back or held close to the chest, because I think they would use that for more solo movies if they get greenlit, which unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to happen based on some of the numbers Nick has seen for opening weekend. But they're reunited, and I thought that was a cool scene with them. I loved how Beckett's like, keep your eyes down, and Han literally is walking around with his eyes down.
Yeah,
and he's like,
staring
well, if
at
I
the
kept
floor.
doing that, I would have ran into a wall or something.
Dude, it was, I mean, like, that kind of shit was fantastic. Finding Kira again. The one thing I don't want to like gloss over too fast is Dryden, played by Paul Bettany, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Let's dive into this guy, because
the way that Bettany portrays this character is just fantastic. I mean, he portrays him as a guy who you feel like genuinely cares about the people who work for him.
But he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
like, he's got
insane.
his shit together enough to be a Crimson Dawn boss. But he's also a guy you feel like if you looked at him funny, he would chop your head off.
Oh yeah,
and then go right back to talking to someone about a joke he heard.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we meet him, like, he comes in and he almost embraces Beckett, like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear about Rio and Val. Are you okay? How did things go? And then when he finds out that the job did not go as expected, he immediately kind of has a tonal shift. And then I thought,
well, he's getting
really
ready
cool,
to kill him. I mean, he's going to be like, okay, guys, tell me how you're going to make it up to me, and that'll essentially decide your fates. And they're, Han's like just spitballing a dummy plan that makes no sense. And
yeah,
eventually you see Dryden's like, okay, well, you guys are dead. I'm killing Chewie, Han, and you, Beckett. Fuck off. And then Kira kind of, you could tell she still has feelings for Han, maybe not the loving feelings, but she obviously cares for him. So she kind of interjects herself, and they hatch the plan, which is going to get us to Kessel.
Yeah, and the one aspect that I really thought was cool about Voss's character is we saw those scars on his face in the trailers, and we didn't know, like, maybe was he scarred? Who knows? But when he gets angry, those things turn like a crimson red. And
so his eyes would too. His eyes would almost bleed. So I don't know if that's like part of Crimson Dawn initiation when you get to that level, or if he like did that to himself, or if that's just the type of humanoid he is. I don't know. But like Nick said, they would literally inflame almost. They would turn a deeper shade of red. You know what scar tissue looks like. I mean, essentially it'd get dark again.
Yeah, it was a really
But,
cool...
I mean, Bettany, especially if you just look at him, how he plays like Vision or a lot of characters. I mean, he's a very soft-spoken type of actor. And you get him in this, I mean, he's a fucking lunatic, but he's some guy that even I was like, yeah, I would be fucking afraid of that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, dude, he was super intimidating. But, yeah, like you said...
Great villain. I mean, just a great villain type of guy. Just a great all-around bad dude.
Yeah, I don't know who was planned to play Voss before, but the fact that they got Bettany to come in on a moment's notice and play that role was top-notch. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better performance out of your primary villain in this movie.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, really, I don't think we've said it in detail yet, but the entire cast is just fucking money. I mean, everyone. You know, you hear these reports like Alden couldn't speak his lines. He was basically adult. It was terrible. It was like, after you see the movie, you're like, what the fuck were people... Was this all just bullshit? Was this all just people clickbaiting their websites? And you almost have to think it is. Yeah,
it's... Unless Ron came in and really did reshoot every scene with Alden, and it was that much better than what was previously done with Lord and Miller.
Then thank God they made that change, because I didn't see any hint of this cast in Alden himself. I mean, I'll tell it right now. I mean, Alden is Solo. For fucking real, he is. We know he is playing Solo, but he is that movie. I mean, that kid nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in my review, I mean, this kid, he hits everything from, like, signature Han Solo looks to his mannerisms to, you know, lines that were spoken, poses, everything. Like, he hits it, and when I was watching that film, there were moments, many moments in the movie where Alden did something, and I immediately thought of something from the OT that Han had done. And you can make those correlations multiple times. So I feel like, for sure, you know, Ron probably came in and cleaned some of that shit up, but Alden had that ability in him even when the old directors were on there. Maybe they couldn't pull it out of him, but he had the ability to play that role of Han Solo to a T like we saw in this movie. And I mean, that's what really makes this film. This is not a story-driven film. This is a character-driven film, and that's what makes it so good, is how all of the characters are portrayed by the excellent actors that play them. So
totally. I mean, the whole cast is great. I really didn't find a single character to be like, please, next scene, let's get away from this person.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're here. We're still on Vandor. They have this new mission. It's a risky one. They need a fast ship. And lo and behold, that's where we go meet our friend Lando. So, and I believe that was on Vandor too. Right? Because they like just walk up to this. It's still this mountainous, snowy region. It's some bar, whatever, you know, bar casino. You got droid fights, battle bots going on essentially, and then you got some dude holding court at a sabacc table, and it's Lando, who, and we kind of knew this from the trailers, but Kira had known of him in the past, and now that we learned what Kira was up to, you know, she's in leagues with Crimson Dawn, which obviously is a crime syndicate, which obviously is going to use smugglers. And she describes Lando at that time as being one of the best smugglers in the galaxy. So that's why they set out to find him, because they need a fast ship to pull off this job on Kessel, which is essentially them stealing raw coaxium, which is very volatile, which is why they need a fast ship, because they need to get it processed before it blows everything up.
Yeah.
And that just so perfectly tied into, hey, how do we show Han's infamous Kessel Run, which, again, they nailed it. So let's talk about the Lando introduction, though, because clearly that's going to be a top moment. They have Han shows up, he's doing his thing, you know, even though Kira's like, hey, just let me handle it. You know, Han's always like, I got this. He sits down at Lando's table, they start playing the game, and we find out that Han's a pretty damn good sabacc player, and we find out that Lando's a pretty damn good cheater.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lando is sitting at a table full of card players, still managing to pull off cheats left and right, and managing to cheat Han Solo. But Han notices, like, he could not have had that card. All of them were played.
So basically,
like, that whole thing was great.
Their first introduction, you think we're going to see the exchange of the Falcon, because it already gets to that. Like, Han lies and says he's got this crazy ass freighter, and he puts it up, and he goads Lando into putting up the Falcon. And Han technically does win. He has a better hand, but because Lando has a little card hidden up his sleeve, he takes that and whatever. Han ends up losing, but then Kira shows up and introduces herself like, no, these guys are with me, and yada yada yada. Long story short, they get the Falcon. They head on out. We meet L3. She is everything she was billed to be. I mean, we could talk at length about her. I mean, there's some good stuff around that character. And really you could tell she was written in a way to kind of shed some light on some real-world narratives that are going on right now.
Oh,
which probably... See, this is the stuff, I guarantee it. Like, the people that hate Disney Star Wars, I bet they despise some of the stuff she said.
Oh, yeah. They probably liked Emilia Clarke and Kira as she was portrayed in this film up to a certain point, because that was something that I put in my review, is that like the way that she plays that character is very meek, and it was unexpected.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about L3.
Yeah. I mean, L3 was fantastic. I mean, like,
but I'm saying like the mouth breathers probably aren't liking the message L3 was trying to spread, which is essentially equal rights. I mean, L3 was your token discriminated against character in this movie, and she makes up for that. She gets one for the little guy.
We've seen it all throughout the OT. I mean, when C-3PO and R2-D2 walk into the cantina on Tatooine, they tell them to get out. We don't serve your kind here. And that is referenced in this movie. She's sitting there trying to tell these battle bots to stop this shit. You're putting yourself down. You're better than this. And then she walks away and tells Han, they don't even serve our kind.
She's essentially a civil rights bot. That's my point. Like, there's going to be people out there that still don't agree with that type of stuff. And I guarantee they're jamming in Star Wars now. Fucking liberals.
It's like, come on, man. This is not just. It
was fun. It was all meant to be funny. I mean, it's funny to see a bot care so much about her own kind and like have almost human level emotions.
Yeah. The one thing that I did like about the going back to the Kira and Lando meetup real quick is that Lando immediately said, like, hey, I thought that we were done with our deal here. Dryden said we're good, or are we still good?
It just highlights how much even power Kira commands. That's what I mean. And again, this is a whole other podcast topic. Kira did some shit during those 3 years that her and Han weren't in contact.
Oh, yeah.
Some dark, dank, evil shit. I guarantee it. Because like Nick said, I mean, Lando clearly knows who she is and clearly knows you don't want to be on her bad side because her bosses can really fuck up your life.
Oh, yeah. They can make life hell for you.
He's like, whoa. Hey, what's this about? We're good, right? We're good, right? You and me are good. I mean, that's essentially how it goes down. And she's like, no, we're fine. We actually need you for a job. So that's how Lando gets pulled into it, because we were all speculating, like, how does this group even come together? And we found out, and I really liked how it all happens, because it all happens by circumstance. Nothing is scripted.
Yeah.
I mean, Han just by chance ran into Beckett, who by chance had Rio, who by chance realized that Han and Chewie could be assets for this job they're going to pull off. People die on that job, so now Han has to do this and that, and everything just kind of steamrolled perfectly together to the end.
Yeah, and which goes to, like, one thing that I do want to mention is the pacing of this movie was fantastic.
It's a 2 hour, 15-minute movie, and it goes bang, 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 bang. Like, there's no dull, and it's not just all in your face action either.
Yeah, it was great. So. Yeah, like we were saying, the card game goes down. Han loses due to Lando's cheating, and then we are off to Kessel. And this is where we see, Leet taking the passenger or the co-pilot seat, Lando in the pilot seat, going through the Kessel run, but a different way than we expected at first, because there is, like Lando mentions, you can't jump directly to Kessel. You have to go through a series of jumps and then go through basically a guided passageway through a maw. And if you go outside of this passageway, you're in some deep trouble, because there's monsters out there. There's, bits of asteroid belt collisions and everything. So they're
well,
it's also
they also set up early on that L3 has the best Navicomputer in the galaxy, which obviously plays a huge role in the Falcon even to this day, which again, that
Yes.
was another lore nugget, and we're going to get there, but another great little bit of lore. Like, oh, so that's why the Falcon can do all its shit. And now you almost have to think, well, maybe that's why the Falcon's hyperdrive is always fucked up, because poor L3's in there just probably getting bored and pissed at R2 for jamming his rod into her all the time.
Yeah, dude, I actually like that was one of my favorite parts in the film is that reveal. I mean, like you said, there's a lot
anyways,
of good
we're
shit
not
in there.
quite we're not there yet, but we learned that Lando is able to pilot this ship so fast and get to Kessel so quickly because of L3's navicomputer and her ability to chart a course, as Nick said, through this like rift. I mean, think of like the movie Event Horizon, if you're around that. I mean, it's kind of like a singularity in this galaxy that you have to be very careful. I mean, there's a lighted passageway through it, but as we, I mean, the Kessel heist was fun. I liked it. I'm not gonna say there's a top moment that came out of it outside Elite's little revolution she starts.
Yeah.
So L3 essentially takes a restraining bolt off another droid because, again, she doesn't like them being persecuted. And she's not like, okay, let's go save our friend. She just goes, I don't give a shit what you do. Just get out of my way. Maybe you should go free the rest of your buddies. And that starts a domino effect where this one little astromech removes a restraining bolt from another, then from another and another. And before you know it, they're having a dance party in the control room. There's prisoners here. Because it's a mining colony. They're being let out. I mean, literally all hell breaks loose because of L3. It was almost like it was kind of a vintage Calamity of Heirs type of scene. Where
I mean,
it wasn't intended to happen the way it happened, but just because she did that one little thing, the butterfly effect, essentially. She moved one little twig, and it ended in a revolution starting on Kessel.
Dude, it was so perfect, and really that's what Kessel was. Kessel was Leet's moment, like Leet's big on-screen moment, and it wasn't like a militaristic kind of, deal that she was trying to do. It was, like you said, it was just dominoes falling in the correct order.
She needed a terminal to help track Han through the camp to find the coaxium.
Yeah, but once she saw the revolution going, she wasn't slowing it down. She jumped in, threw her fist up, revolution, and then just stoked the fires. The whole thing
was fun. And then I was surprised they blasted her, but obviously narratively it made sense because they had to get it to the point with the nav computer piece.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I mean, Kessel was fun. I mean, you get to see more Chewie melee action, which is impressive. I mean, that's where that head spike comes from the trailer. You get to, again, seeing Han just being resourceful as fuck. Like when he walks up to that guy, and the guy's like, "Hoka, kuka, kuka," and Han goes, "Chaba, chaba, chaba."
Yeah, he's like, "That's what I said." And
that's exactly what I said. He kicks him in the balls. I mean, that's just like vintage. That's exactly what Han would do.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many moments like that, and you're like, this is what Han Solo would do. Harrison Ford or not, this is what Han Solo would do, and it was perfect. And not only did we get to see Chewie's melee action, but we also got to see him freeing other Wookiees.
Right, which was nice, and there was a female Wookiee there, which we've never seen outside the Star Wars specials, because the female Wookiees have more of a defined face. Like, they don't have it's almost like how male lions have the mane, and the females don't.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see him.
But it wasn't like, I mean, we didn't know if it was his family, his tribe. We just know that as soon as he saw the Wookiees, and because we learned earlier that everyone had a goal after the Vandor job. Like, okay, this was going to be it for Val and Beckett. They're going to retire. Rio was going to go do his thing. Chewie said he wanted to go around the galaxy and free the enslaved Wookiees. And Han's like, I want to go back and get my girl. So we know that was ultimately Chewie's goal, but over time, hanging with Han, you could tell that even Han was rubbing off on him. And in the end, Chewie's a loyal motherfucker. Yeah, and he knew that he was part of this job, and he knew he had a role to play. And even though he had to go save his own kind, he still came back in the end and ultimately decided, you know what, I'm not going to go with these Wookiees. They want me to. I'm not going to follow him. I'm sticking with this dude.
Yeah, see, that was another interesting part that I found in the whole Kessel situation is when Han and Chewie are making their way through the mines and Chewie sees the Wookiees there, like, I did not expect Han to be like, hey, leave them. I'm going. Let's go. We have to finish his job. I thought Han would have jumped in and helped him, but their relationship wasn't there yet, which was really cool. And it was he's
just like, hey man, I hope to see you around again sometime. But I get
and
it.
They split. which is I thought was
it was
really
another
cool.
moment to show that while Han is operating in this seedy world, he's a good-natured motherfucker in the end. Because even as he's walking away with a weapon, he's like, you know what, you're gonna need this more than me, buddy.
Yeah, it was a great moment betwing those two, and like you
So it
said,
is.
when,
I
when they
really
come
think
back.
the character of Han now is so much more fleshed out and realized for me. Because I'm gonna come out and say it, Han Solo was never like a real main type of guy for me. I mean, I liked him because he was Luke's buddy.
Yeah, but
I
he
I was a Luke guy. I mean, Han was never. I was always like, you know, Han's kind of Weasley, and he never wants to kind of take charge of anything. He was a fucking scoundrel.
Yeah, there was a lack of depth. Yeah, there was definitely a lack of depth.
You get to see here now that why in the end he does fucking turn that Falcon around to save that farm boy. You know why he did that now.
Yeah,
you know deep down, and you get that in this movie, and that's why this movie is so damn good for the character and shit. Make it some money because I want to see another one. That's how good it is. I want to learn more about Han. When before this movie, I honestly could have given two shits about a Han Solo standalone.
Yeah, I mean, we knew the development of Luke and Leia from the original trilogy, and we have this character, this primary main character in that OT, where we didn't know any of his backstory. All we knew was that he had a job for Jabba, dropped a shipment, and now he was in a bunch of shit, and he was hoping that this one mission that he was going to run for Obi off of Tatooine was going to get him enough money to clear his name. And now we get some context behind it. We can see where that came from. We can see where the actions, like you said, him coming back on the Falcon to save the trench run on the Death Star. Like, we know where all of that comes from now. And it was, great.
You
to
can
see
see
all
exactly why Han is who he is, or at least parts of it. I don't think we've seen why he's so hard-boiled by the time Ben and Luke meet him in the Mos Eisley Cantina. But you're starting to see how he was shaped that way, and that how he's being led down a path that would make someone. Because what's a great line that Beckett tells him? He's like, dude, if you ever get a bounty on your head, it's one of the worst things in the world. And hey, come to find out, Han does get a bounty on his head, and as we learn in A New Hope, it sucks to have a bounty on your head, especially one from Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, I mean, even in this movie, Jabba's referenced as a big-time gangster.
I loved
So,
it. Dude, the
fantastic.
ending, everything is fucking perfect. Like, this movie, it didn't deserve a perfect score, but it is pretty fucking perfect.
Yeah, that's why, like,
for what it was established for, I think it nailed it. It checked the boxes left and right.
Like, entertainment value was one of the review, I guess, like the review criteria that I was going through. I gave it 9.5. Like, I thought
you
it was
almost channeled me, because I agreed. I thought the soundtrack was weak. I mean, there was sprinkles of some of Williams' themes in there. I mean, at the right time, you know, when Han first pilots the Falcon, obviously you get the I mean, you need it, but overall, it's like, nothing about the music really sucked me in. I mean, it just felt like it's more kind of Rogue One-ish, you know, doesn't make the movie any better or worse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I gotta agree there. But so jetting off a Kessel, they now have 12 canisters.
It's 11 cans of unrefined
coaxium.
Okay, so and this is where, all right, they've got to get to this planet Savarine quick, where they can process it, but because of L3's revolution, guess who shows up in the Kessel Run tunnel, as we'll call it? Oh, it's a motherfucking Imperial blockade. So, based on the trailers, I know, at least I was thinking, well, somehow Han pisses off the Empire. That makes sense. Nope. It was just circumstance again. I mean, L3 kicks off a revolution on a Imperial ran pilot or planet for resources, which in turn warrants a Star Destroyer to show up and blockade the planet. And it just so happens that that's right when Han and them are trying to escape in the Falcon.
Yeah.
And Han again gets cocky. He's like, I know. I used to work for these idiots. They're not going to dedicate TIE fighters to this freighter. And as soon as he says that, they drop out like 8 TIE fighters to go chase him down.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where he comes up with his plan. And this is fantastic. And I love that it wasn't a thing like, oh, I'm going to make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. It was never that. It was set from the get-go. You're going to need we cannot complete the Kessel Run in less than 20 parsecs.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the bar essentially set by Lando. Like, this cannot be done in less than 20 parsecs. We got this shit. we're fucked. I can't fly. Oh, by the way, Leet is basically dead, so we've lost her navigation routes to get through this shit quickly. We're fucked. And that's where Han's like, I got an idea. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to rip her Navicomputer out, jam it into the fucking Falcon so it downloads it. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take a shortcut and go where you're not supposed to go and just take a hard right into this fucking wormhole thing.
Yeah, go
and see if they
through
chase
the mall.
me. Yeah, so he's essentially taking a shortcut through like shit that can time travel somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Like, he turns
they
into
come
the
across
mall.
a black hole. I mean, it's sucking in, like, it's a legitimate singularity that's sucking in, like, this huge fucking mother Rathtar.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, that whole scene was so cool just to see, like, him being able to pilot that. And like you said, mixing it in with Leet still. I mean, Leet was killed essentially on Kessel,
yeah, so
but
she
bringing
gets
her
shot
in,
during her revolution. She gets, blasted hardcore.
Yeah.
And, Lando has a very...
emotional.
Nick brought this up in his review, and we haven't really touched on it because I know it's probably going to piss people off. But as Nick says in his review, the way Lando treats L3, we've never seen in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke and them, he likes his little buddies, R2, and they have a nice moment in Jedi, but... Lando, and as L3 calls him out, had genuine feelings. He cared for L3. He cared for her maybe romantically, but definitely as his first mate. I mean, she was someone very special to him, so she gets blasted, and it's just a droid. Leave her alone. There's a war going on. Nope. Lando runs out. He gets shot, which then causes Han to run out to help his new buddy. So, again, there you see good-hearted Han, which in turn causes my man Chewie to be like, you know what, Wookiees? I'm good. I'm going to go save these idiots.
Yeah.
And Chewie picks up Lando and L3. So anyways, L3 is dead. She dies. And Han has the idea of like, yo, if she's got the best Navicomputer in the galaxy in her brain, let's go ahead and just dump that into the Falcon. So the Millennium Falcon has the essence of L3 in it, even in The Last Jedi. That's the reason the Falcon can do the crazy jumps through hyperspace it can. And it's ultimately the reason, with Han's ideas and the other little trick he had, adding raw coaxium to the Falcon's fusion reactor.
Yeah, and the way that went down was just perfect.
I loved it. Yeah,
because
it fails at first. Like, so what's happening is Han, they run in this huge monster and they're gonna die. And Han's like, you know what? Fuck it. I want the Falcon to look like the way the fans know it to look. So Lando, good idea on the escape pod, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot it into the singularity so this big-ass octopus goes and chases it.
Yeah.
So he does that, and he's like, while it's going down there, we're just going to turn away and get away from it. Well, he gets a little too close to singularity, so if you know anything about science, it's a gravity well, and it starts sucking anything in that's within its reach. So that starts happening. The gravity's so strong, it sucks the fucking skin off this massive creature. Like, this creature's like the size of probably a mini Death Star, right? I mean, he's huge.
Yeah, it's insanely big. So yeah.
They're stuck in it, and Han's like, they get the Navicomputer's updated. She finds a route out that's going to get them there to Savareen in time, but they can't escape the gravity well. So that's where he's like, let's go ahead and dump this rocket fuel in this bitch. And Beckett runs down and does it, and Han's like, okay, 3, go! And he hits it, and it fires up real quick, and then you get the classic, like you hear the Falcon's engines wind down, just like you did in Empire all the times. They thought they were going to hit hyperspeed, and it failed them. Same type of deal. They go floating back, and then boom! That shit kicks in, and those motherfuckers just rocket out, and Han pulls off another impressive little feat.
Yep, another Han-esque escape. And then we're off to Savareen, where this is the final showdown. Everything's going to go down for the last time.
This is the final act, and then this is where you get 3 of the big twists. They're just like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, all of the twists are really coming in this. Yeah, like you said, the final act. So Savareen is the planet where they have to go in order to refine this coaxium before it explodes. There were a lot of tense moments in that Kessel run where we thought it was going to be over. Like, this thing's going to blow up. You can see the color of this coaxium turning from this bluish to red.
I mean, some of the shit it did. The Kessel run did show that Han, he's up there with Poe and Anakin.
Oh yeah, I mean, he is a serious pilot.
I'll give it to him now. I still think Poe may be number 1, and Anakin, I'm gonna give 3 just because he cheats and has the Force.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely.
I think it's probably Poe Han in terms of piloting skills without Force affinity.
Oh yeah, like when he does that flip over and hits that tie with the fin to
that was cool as shit. I mean, it was a brilliant idea. It just visually looked awesome. How about when he fucking skates it off of that meteor?
Oh
to
my
shoot
gosh.
up shit into the tie because they lost all their guns.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
like
he gets Chewie to somehow get all the fuel to one side so they can rock it up and do a turn before they get blasted.
oh my god, dude, it was great. And then like the way he explains it to Chewie when right before he does the skit, he's like, "Yeah, my buddy on Corellia did this, and he was famous for it." And then he died doing it.
Yeah, because he could never do it. He crashed doing it. Like his idea, his concept. But he says, and then as Nick says, they arrive at Savareen and literally just fucking crash the Falcon into the sand. I mean, it has no front landing gear anymore. All of Lando's pretty white and blue paint has been ripped off. I mean, it's starting to look like the piece of junk that Luke sees in the hangar bay, with Hangar Bay 47 or whatever in Mos Eisley's ship arena.
Yeah. I mean, it was even the interior was all fucked up because of panels
it was
shooting
on
off
fire.
because of fire
Yeah.
and like.
That's why Lando's like, man, you should never let anyone pilot your own shit.
Yeah, it's just it was.
So that was
fucking
great. You know, there again, you see why Han and Lando aren't necessarily best friends. Because really, after they land, I mean, there's a great exchange. Lando's basically like, I hate you.
Yeah,
He's like, I literally just hate you. It's like, I'm going on my ship in my quarters. Leave me alone. Fuck you guys.
Oh yeah, that's what I put in my review. I was like, you can definitely see why Lando gives Han a bit of a cold reception when he arrives on Bespin and ESB.
And I also loved Glover Han. I mean, Han.
Oh yeah, Han. Yeah,
I love it.
Even though he told him it's Han, he's like, okay, Han.
He still calls him Han. But anyways, they're not best friends, but you can tell, you know, Han runs out to save him on Kessel. And in the end, they are kind of chummy. But anyways, so yeah. They're on Savareen, and the first big twist we get involves Enfys Nest. And I kind of wish I didn't know she was female going into it, but, you know, we talked about that. I even think StarWars.com revealed that, right? It was almost an official source.
Yeah.
Slipped that Enfys was indeed a female.
Yeah, I mean...
So that wasn't the twist. The twist, right, comes in the form that she's not a pirate. They're not marauders. They're the beginnings of the fucking rebellion.
Yeah, they're essentially, working for the rebellion. I mean,
they're the Saw Gerrera type of outfits. They're the fucking radicals almost.
Yeah.
Maybe not as radical as Saw, but dude, fuck. Speaking of, didn't she even almost look like she could be a daughter of Saw?
Yeah, I mean, she had that look to her. I mean, she had similar
there was a
hair.
part of me...
The face was very, very reminiscent of Saw.
The first time I saw it, I'm like, shit, that's Val and Beckett's kid.
Yeah, dude, it could have been possible because I mean, like she references her mother and she says that her mother used to wear this mask. I mean,
there's a part of me, I thought it was going, like I was just waiting for Beckett to be like, well, and so there you are, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it would have.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there, but it is explained in the end. The whole reason that Enfys Nest and her gang has been fucking with these scoundrel smuggler types like Beckett's and all them, it's because while these scoundrels are stealing stuff to make money and get rich and make these crime syndicates more rich and powerful, Enfys was using these opportunities to essentially Robin Hood herself and steal from the bad guy. Okay, so you had bad guys stealing from bad guys, right? You had the smugglers and the scoundrels stealing from the Empire.
Yep. But they were just giving the stuff back to another
group of bad guys to make bad guys more powerful. So Enfys, her crew, their whole point was, we're going to intercept this shit, and we're going to give it to the good guys.
Yeah, we're going to get it to the rebellion.
We're going to use it for good. We're going to use it for this little rebellion that's taking place. And, you know, at the end, she even offers Han, which is, I love that, you know, we now know that the rebellion's been trying to recruit him since he was much younger, you know, probably 21. I'm thinking... After the 3-year jump, like we said, most of that movie takes place when Han's about 21 years old. It's probably about 7 to 10 years prior to A New Hope.
Yeah. So there's still room, like we were saying.
There's a ton of room.
I mean,
me and my buddy were talking after we saw it. I mean, hell, Solo 2, if it ever happens, could pick up a month after Solo 1. I mean,
oh yeah, dude, like
we could see how Han becomes one of Jabba's main smugglers.
Yeah,
like we don't even need Han to fuck up Jabba in the second Solo movie. That could happen in Solo 3 if it even gets that far. I don't. After what Nick said, it's probably not even going to get to Solo 2, which is a shame at this point. But there's a lot of. They gave us plenty to establish the character of Han and offer up some cool lore moments, but they held plenty back too.
Yeah, they did. And so yeah, I mean, moving on from the reveal.
So we
of
get that
Enfys
reveal.
Nest,
I mean, Enfys was never bad. Like she was not a competing gang. She was literally doing it on behalf of the rebellion.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
everyone
if anything,
in her group
she was the good guy.
Right. Everyone in her group were from planets that were raped by the Empire and the crime syndicates.
Yeah, so it was a fantastic.
And by the way,
for
Warwick
that.
Davis' character is his character from Phantom Menace.
Oh, he was the
Yep.
Okay.
Weasel or whatever from Tatooine.
Yeah, that's pretty cool idea. I didn't put those together, but that was awesome. He actually had a speaking line in it too, which was, I mean, it was nothing, but it was still a line for him. What I liked about Enfys is her age. Like I kind of assumed that she was going to be like an older person or something like that.
She's pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, like she was like a mid-teenage kind of girl.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's probably even younger than Han for sure.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And then
but it was neat to see like how the rebellion was starting to get its seeds planted. I mean, that was it. Her main task was to go around and jack these resources from other assholes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fucking great reveal, and
so
I would imagine that she's
that.
going to play a part in, if there is a Solo 2, who knows? I mean, she'll
Yeah.
probably be in it.
I'm also going with, I don't know if you saw him because he's just kind of in the backgrounds. I'm going with that's Two Tubes that's in her gang.
Oh yeah, dude, they put him on screen enough to make me believe that too.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's got to be. My buddy, I mean, Two Tubes is like one of his favorite characters. You're like, oh, that's probably just another one of his race. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, that's Two Tubes.
Yeah, I mean,
they like predominantly display him in frame multiple times.
Oh yeah, and there's enough time between this movie and the movie and Rogue One for him to kind of move in that way. And like you said, the Marauders.
These are probably all little rebellion factions like Saul. So there's a good chance that Enfys is in league with Saul at this point.
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. So
again,
really cool to
this
see him
movie, yes, we got Solo lore, but it also expanded Star Wars lore, and that's why we need to not be so angry about Disney making Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
you can get some good shit here. I mean, this is why I love Star Wars, because it has this lore, it has this shit to think about, it has this big universe. It's not just one-off characters. So that was our first big twist. The second big twist we get comes in the form of a betrayal, and this is the one that I honestly saw telegraphed a mile away. So after Han realizes who Enfys is, after a great exchange, I love how he threatens her, and he's like, hey, we got all these 30 dudes on the Falcon, and then Lando's just like, fuck it, I'm done with you assholes. But anyways, here comes good-hearted Han. He once again realizes that Enfys isn't the bad guy, and that Dryden Voss is a bad guy, and that he should not be getting this coaxium because it's just going to go to more bad guys. So Han tries to go down the Beckett and put together a plan where they can not only be good guys, but they can still get paid. And Beckett's not having it, and it seems like they're parting ways. And the moment Han, Chewie, and Kira went up there, and the way Dryden was acting, I was like, oh fuck, Beckett flipped.
Yeah,
Beckett sold him out, and that's exactly what happens. So essentially, Han's going up to trick Dryden into thinking that he's giving him the coaxium so he can get paid and get out of there, even though they gave the real coaxium to Enfys, which, again, they didn't even do because Han's so smart and he knew this was going to happen anyways. But Beckett becomes a bad.
Yeah, he makes his ultimate turn, and I guess you could see that. Yeah, you could definitely see it coming in the movie, but like you knew the content of his character. Like he wasn't.
And he even tells Han himself. He's like, dude, I've been trying to teach this to you throughout this film.
Yeah.
Don't trust anyone.
Yeah, I mean, he tells him on the Falcon, like pretty early on after they get the Falcon, is like, if you learn one thing from me, it's don't trust anybody.
But then Han did learn it from him because he throws it right back in his face when he reveals that, hey, by the way, we knew you were going to do this.
Yeah.
So as you taught me, or as you taught Chewie, right? Don't be repetitive, or people will pick up on your tactics. we knew you're a backstabber. We knew this would happen, so we flipped the script on you. And this really is a coaxium here. It's not down with Memphis Nest, so fuck those people. And here we go. So, but still, that's Beckett flips again. He's all right. He's like, all right, fuck you, Dryden. Yeah. I'm gonna take this to get paid, and I'm taking the Wookiee. You guys have it out and try to kill each other. So Beckett leaves with Chewie. And he leaves Kira, Dryden, and Han to kind of duke it out.
Yeah, he leaves with Chewie and the coaxium. So he's like, he got everything that he wanted. He's got 600 million credits worth.
Beckett ended up being a great little scoundrel. I mean, I don't want to call him a villain because he never really comes off as that, like, ha, 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 this is my big evil plan. He's just doing what a fucking scoundrel does.
Oh, yeah, dude. He plays it perfectly. Like, he goes where the money is, and he takes chances where he realizes that the odds are in his favor, at least in most situations. And he saw an opportunity, like you said, get the coaxium, take this Wookiee hostage, get the fuck out of here. And that's what he did. Like, he never intended for Han to get hurt, I'm sure. It's not like he ever put him in a intentional spot where he was going to get killed. He was just like, I'm here for me, and then I'm out. So, he lived up to it.
Even if he did, he wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't trying to kill him, and he wasn't trying not to kill him. He was just like, I'm using you for this purpose. This is what you mean to me.
Yeah, I mean, if Dryden would have killed him, big deal. It really wouldn't have affected Beckett one way or the other. So.
No.
Anyways, they have a fight, which, we kind of picked from the trailers. Like, why is Dryden fighting Han? Or, hey, it looks like he's fighting Kira, too. And although Kira makes it look like she's going to fight Han for Dryden, in the end, she turns on her own master and basically kicks his ass.
Yeah, I mean, we
learned that she's a master of Terras Kasi, which I always love because it's a. I don't know if Nick, you probably weren't old enough to play Masters of the Terras Kasi on PlayStation 1, but it was like a legitimate Star Wars Street Fighter game. It was literally,
I never played that one.
You could pick. They had Mara Jade, Tusken Raiders, Boba Fett, Luke, Han. But anyways, it's a fighting style. So Kira's a bat. I mean, she's essentially like I'm guessing at this point. I mean, yes, she's a Crimson Shadow. Is that what they are?
Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, Crimson Dawn lieutenant.
Yeah.
But it's almost like she's probably an assassin for them.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of talk of, like, you don't know what I did in the 3 years.
I mean, she and everyone around her, like, even Beckett to Han, like, dude, you do not know what this chick's been up to, man. She's fucking crazy. But, deep down, Han's like, whatever, I know who she is. And, I mean, I think there is a part of that Kira still in Kira, even as she's leaving. She's looking longingly down at Han, like, man, I wish I didn't have to do this, but his path took him that way, and my path has taken me this way.
Yeah, so
we get that. I guess the other big twist we get involves Kira, so she kills Dryden, therefore making herself the boss, and she takes over his yacht, and she calls his master, and it's on a hologram, and there's a dude in a hood, and he has these metal legs, and it's revealed to be Darth motherfucking Maul, or at this point, just Maul. He drops the Darth.
Yeah.
It's fucking Maul. So Maul is the supreme leader of Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
At this point in Star Wars lore.
Yeah, I mean, both of us, like, when we were talking before we hit record, I mean, we were both like, I saw the metal legs, I saw the hood, but I was like, there's no way that this is going to be Maul. Because, I mean, for most people, if you don't watch the cartoon series, Maul is dead. Like, Darth Maul gets cut in half in episode 1, falls down the reactor core shaft on shit. Now it's fucking, I can't remember the name of the planet. Naboo. He falls down the reactor core shaft, and that's it. But if you watch the cartoon series, he's still alive. He comes back. He has some interactions with a lot of characters. He takes over Mandalore and the Death Watch, and then gets thrown out of there. He finds his brother Savage Opress. I mean, he lives on, in the movie, he says to her, meet me on Dathomir.
Yeah, it's perfect. So, people, this just validates what I've been telling you about these animated shows, all right?
Yeah.
It's the best narratives you're going to get out of the Clone War era. I'm talking about the Clone Wars series. Best narrative you're going to get for Anakin, like, that is my Anakin Skywalker. Not Hayden Christensen, nothing against Hayden, but just it ain't happening. Live action Anakin poo, animated Anakin, yay.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're now crossing shit over into live actions. I mean, they did it with Saw Gerrera. This isn't something new. It validates what I've been saying. Like, this shit is canon, it's good canon, and it's now bleeding into the live action stuff, so you might as well get on board. So
yeah, I mean, even with Saw I feel like is going to play, I mean, if we do get a second Solo movie, I feel like Saw's role in Rogue One will be smaller in comparison to what we might see from Maul if we have a continuation of the Solo movies.
No, I mean, Maul should be one of the mains. But anyways, if you're wondering, well, how does Maul take over a crime syndicate? In the Clone Wars, and I believe it's season 5, he either starts or takes over this group called the Shadow Collective. So you can draw a conclusion, kind of bridge the gap here, that in between that time and the time we see him again in Star Wars Rebels, he rose to power within these crime syndicates and eventually took over Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who knows? Maybe
because you could even tell. I mean, Dryden was a scary motherfucker, but you could tell he was scared of who he has to report to.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you're reporting,
I guarantee Maul's a ruthless motherfucker.
Yeah, when you're reporting to a former Sith Lord, a
guy that can still use the Force and still has a lightsaber and all that fun shit.
I mean, and then, I mean, I would assume here. I mean, do you think Savage is still around? I mean, I know that Savage gets killed by Sidious.
See, I'm literally on season 5, and it picks up right at the end of season 4, which is where Savage and Maul have teamed up and they fought Kenobi for the first time and kicked his ass.
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering.
They kind of get beat up too, so they literally fly off together. But yeah, I mean, Savage at some point will be taken out, so I don't think we'll see Savage in this timeline.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still a fucking fantastic reveal for anybody who's a true Star Wars fan. I mean, this is what people wanted. Like, people wanted Maul back in movies because he was such a good character in Episode 1.
I mean, even if you're going to say it's a stretch, I mean, so what? They've backed it up with narrative. I mean, you can figure out the pieces.
Yeah, it's established canon now. Like, regardless of if it's a stretch or not, like, he's back and he's been back for a while.
The maker himself wanted Maul back, okay?
Yeah, so
I mean, it was George's idea to resurrect Maul in the Clone Wars. This isn't just Filoni going off the fucking reservation.
Yeah, I mean, he's back in a
the
legit
man himself.
way.
Like, for those of you now that are saying your Star Wars are only Lucas Star Wars, well, there you go. Clone Wars was Lucas Star Wars.
Yeah, and then Lucas Star Wars is coming back in this way. I mean, you have Maul on screen. And what was cool, like you said, is we get both Mauls here. We get Ray Park that's in the costume with the face paint on and wearing the full garb. And we get Sam Witwer as the voice. And Sam Witwer was the guy who voiced Maul in the cartoon series. So, fantastic.
Also played Starkiller in Force Unleashed.
Yeah, Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed too. So, I mean, Witwer is, he's got his hand in a lot of the Star Wars
animated. That fucker really worked himself in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I mean, to go from fucking video game shit and then, Clone Wars.
Yeah, I can't remember if he did Clone Wars first or the game or if they're right around the same time, but that's basically what has kicked him in, and now he can literally call himself Darth Maul.
Yeah,
he goes to conventions as Darth Maul and fucking signs autographs and shit.
Yeah, and now he's on the big screen. Like, that was me saying, like, I said those lines as Darth Maul.
I remember him playing Doomsday on Smallville. It was like one of his first TV debuts. Anyways, so that was really, I mean, that to me was just out of nowhere. I mean, I had zero idea. I mean, if anything, I could have seen her like calling Boba Fett and he fucking holograms on, and that would have been like, okay, well, I could see that coming. But this, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I dig it. I'm into this. Like, I want to see where this is going.
When you said that, as you said that, like that kind of occurred to me too when I was watching it in the theater, because in the background, in Dryden's little, I guess like his room and his palace, you could see
Mandalorian armor back there.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna see some Boba Fett here, but I mean, like, Maul coming in was literally like the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, because like this movie was really good without that.
Yeah,
but then to throw that in.
We've already mostly had the big climax of the movie. That's been resolved. Now it's just kind of tying up loose ends and then pushing things towards a hopeful sequel. So this was after, Han shot first. I mean, Han, we talked about it. It's no reason. It was a great scene. It shows that Han shoots first. But even as he was killing Beckett, you could tell he never really had a hate for him. That's the weird world of smuggling.
Yeah.
Like, you just never trust anyone. You never can really love anyone or really become great friends. And that also shows why Han and Chewie are so special in that world, that they can have that ironclad marriage type of trust with each other.
Yeah, I mean...
but even as Han blasted his mentor, I mean, he went to hold him as he died.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as the shot's fired and it lands, I mean, Han runs over to him, kind of cradles him in his arms, and, Beckett goes out.
Just kind of, as we wrap things up, before that, Beckett told him, like, hey, I know this big shot gangster on Tatooine putting together a crew.
Yeah.
So, hint, hint, foreshadowing. And then at the end, after he goes back and finds Lando and there's a funny exchange, it's kind of a throwback to Empire where Chewie intimidates him, but he's just kidding. Again,
Yeah.
Chewie's like, ugh, and he's like, what his little joke laugh. So he wins the Falcon. I mean, come on, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
This time he wins because he knows Lando has the card, and he bumps into him and takes it.
Oh man, yeah, that was so great. I love that. Like when when they first see each other and Han sees the card on the sleeve, he immediately goes in for this hug and takes it away.
That grifter bump. He does the wallet bump essentially.
Oh man, it was so good.
He wins the Falcon, and then where are they headed to right at the end?
Tatooine. That's right.
So
I mean,
that was Solo, man, and like I said, just full of great lore moments. I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half. I don't want to go too much more. I think, honestly, to me, there was one scene between Alden and Amelia where it almost felt like Hayden and Natalie in terms of that horrible love acting, like mushy-dushy type of shit.
Yeah, like right in the beginning.
Yeah, that was a little rough. And I do believe there are certain scenes that Ron repurposed from the two dudes. Because if you remember, the two dudes like shooting full frame.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've noticed this, but now that I've seen it twice, there were some, like, dialogue shots of just Lando talking to Kira, that type of shot where the camera's behind, you can see the one person's face in the back of the head. It was literally to the right side of the screen.
Oh,
like,
really?
It was not centered. I mean, that shit is almost always centered because
yeah.
I'm not saying I know anything about photography. I don't. I just fuck around and I practice. I don't know the science behind it, but it's basically the rule of three or whatever, where you want your frame to have your subject in it. You don't want it to be skewed too far to the right or left.
Well, yeah, because if you skew it like that, you're setting up a possible entrance of another character into the scene.
There were some of those shots where I'm like, man, I guarantee they just had the fucking zoom in on that, take the wide angle and just zoom that out and try to make it look like it was a one-on-one type of dialogue shot. But, does that ruin the movie? Absolutely not. It just sometimes looked a little wonky. So I really, outside of, like I said, things got a little Hayden-y, like, but fucking great film.
Yeah, it was definitely a little mushy in the beginning between those two characters because there was a genuine love for them there. I mean, in my review, I said that if that separation wouldn't have happened there between
the separation was perfect.
Yeah.
Their like lovey-dovey, kissy-wissy stuff, that was weird. And even when they were on Savareen talking in the tent before Emphas confrontation, that was another moment where he's trying to have a heart-to-heart with her, and she's like, listen, man, I'm fucked up. You deep down, no one else knows this about you, but you're just a damn good guy. Mm-hmm. But it just felt like the Naboo scenes from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, you still have a lot of that residue from the episode 2.
Like PTSD, like Attack of the Clones PTSD is what I was feeling.
It's like,
but very brief. It ruins nothing. So like I said, there's really nothing fundamentally wrong with Solo.
No, yeah, absolutely not. The movie itself was fantastic. I mean, I gave it an 8.4, which I do feel is a very deserved score.
I'm with you too. Like I said, I was thinking between 8 and 9. How about this? Between the other standalone, how does it stack up?
Somebody asked me that, dude, and it's so hard to compare because tonally these movies are so different, and even in
and Rogue One cheats.
Yeah, I mean Rogue One
it uses Darth fucking Vader.
Yeah, I mean Vader comes in at the very end. You're using a familiar set piece. I mean,
we've already said that Vader scene is the best scene in all of Star Wars. So
yeah, I mean it's hard to.
I for me, I like Solo better as an all-around movie.
I think that
now.
it's I could watch Solo again and again and again because Rogue One is so heavy. And like
right.
that,
it has that heavy tone to it, like the Skywalker saga. It's all about the oppression of the Empire, as we discussed earlier in this cast. Where, as we said, Solo, it's a more of just a good old action heist movie, and that's what they told us it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic, and it's so funny too because like you grapple with like, you know, sometimes if you're trying to show Star Wars to somebody who hasn't seen it. I'm in that situation now with my girlfriend. I'm like, where do I start? Because it's like, you know, you want to show it in order, and now you have these new movies being thrown in, especially these standalones. You're like, where do you start? I mean, I almost feel like I just want to take her to go see Solo because it's such a fun movie, and it's still Star Wars, and it still has those.
I would do it. I mean, she doesn't really even need to know anything, and it's still just an entertaining film. I mean, for people like us, it's way more meaningful, like the little lore nods we get that'll just go over regular moviegoers' heads, but it's still a fun freaking movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic film. I mean, regardless, like you were just saying, regardless of whether you're a hardcore nerd and you wanted to know that, you know, the reason that the Falcon has a navicomputer like it does is because Elite's hooked into it and all this shit, or how Han got his blaster or its last name, like, take all those things out and it's still great. It's still a fun heist movie that has fantastic twists and turns. I mean, yeah, definitely a recommend from us.
Well worth it. Go out and see it, people, because after you see it, I hope you're going to think the way we're thinking and you're going to want more. And really, Howard laid down the gauntlet. I mean, he basically said, yeah, more can happen if justified, which is essentially saying, if you guys give us enough money, you're going to get at least another Solo, because we also know Alden let slip that he's on for at least 2 more Star Wars pictures.
Yeah, so I mean, I've already had
for it, man. All that shit we felt about it, it was all useless. It was useless worrying. They did it again. They made another entertaining Star Wars movie. Okay, I know I'm a liberal. Maybe that's why I love them so much. Whatever you want to tell yourself, it's a damn good film. Go out and see it. We're not done talking about it either. We will be back with our next cast. It'll at least be a topic. I don't know if it'll be the whole cast, but we're going to kind of talk about where we'd like things to go, what we'd like to see if there is a sequel. So if you enjoyed this discussion of Solo, make sure to come back for the next one, because we're not through with this standalone movie yet, even though we will start gearing into full-on Episode 9 speculations this summer. So thanks for listening. Get out and go see Solo. See it at least twice. Do it like me. Catch it on different formats every time. I've already seen it on IMAX, and now yesterday I saw it on Dolby Cinema. So I think I might want to try to go see a 3D version at some point. Maybe do 3 Solos with what I'm thinking. But let's get some money here, and don't think you're just giving money to Disney. Think you're giving money to your passion, right? You're giving money to things that make you happy, to an entertainment brand that makes you happy. Think of it that way. Don't think of it you're just giving your money to a huge corporation, because guess what? We do that all day, every day with all these damn corporations. Unless you live in the fucking woods and you're off the grid, you're paying the man left, right, out the nose, up the bum. It happens, okay? So don't rob yourselves of these fun little fictional entertainment jaunts because you want to be high and mighty about a conglomeration ruining your childhood. All right? That's your PSA for this Star Wars time. Okay, my friends, may the Force be with you always.